Hello, everybody. It's your YouTube friend Shan, and welcome back to my channel. I know we're in the middle of the UK heat wave at the moment. I think this is the gazillionth heat wave of the year, but I thought today I would like to share ways to survive UK winter because I know it's coming. We all know it's coming. And I think this would be especially helpful if you have just recently moved to the UK or is considering to move to the UK, or if you even if you're not in the UK. I think if you're a Southeast Asian like me who's completely, and I would say biologically not fit for winter, um and you're like living in a cold country like Canada or like, I don't know, Switzerland, um, this might be helpful for you. Although I would say like specific things like heating might be a bit different, but I suppose take this video with a pinch of salt and see how you can make it fit in your own life. So yeah, without wasting any more of your precious time, my first point is having a rice cooker. How does this relate to like winter, you may ask? And I am also thinking, I know I wrote this for a reason, but for me, I think when I cook rice, I definitely automatically will eat something warm or pair it with something that's cooked. Um, and that automatically almost means that I will have something hot or warm in my tummy, even if you literally took something out from the fridge. But as long as you're eating rice, and having a rice cooker makes that more accessible, meaning that you're eating warmer food that keeps your body warm throughout the day. Because I personally found that when I eat very like cold food like salads consistently in winter, that was when I fell really ill. And yes, I mean, a lot of my colleagues don't tend to eat warm food during the day, but for me personally, especially when I have to take warm, I when I have to eat lunch, I mean, um, at work, then that becomes a problem if I have to consistently just eat cold sandwiches. So yeah, I think rice cookers sort of like encourages you to automatically eat warm food, and that really really helps. Yeah, so to me that's essential. And my second point would be to invest in a well in my second point would be to invest in an electric blanket. The one that I have is the one that could you could pour, like you can bring it around the house, or you can plug it to any socket and switch on the blanket. It's literally like a blanket, but I also have the ones where you put it under your bed sheet, and you could set a timer to like 2 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, and the heat setting. Um, and between the two, I can't tell you which is more helpful, but if I had to choose, I think I would definitely choose the electric blanket that is underneath the sheet, just because it keeps me warm as I'm about to go to bed. I think what I would actually do this year is to plug in the Alexa timer and make it automated, so it doesn't rely on me switching on and off the uh blanket when I need it. Because sometimes after a long day, I've just showered and it's so cold, and I jump in the bed and it's cold, and I completely forgot to switch it on. So if I have that automated, no matter what the day is, unless I'm going away, I will always have a warm bed, and that is really, really helpful. And I think it really helps my mood. Also, if you could set it to when you're just about to wake up, at least you're waking up to a warm bed and like you're not shocked by the cold when you take off your duvet. Which goes to my bonus point around electric blankets. Invest in a really good duvet blanket. I would suggest the goose feather ones. I know it sounds expensive, but trust me, especially if you buy it now in the summer where they're doing really good sales, you could get it for 50% off. And y- I use it all year round because the how I don't know the actual mechanics or the technology about goose feather duvets, but all I know is it doesn't just keep you warm, it just regulates the temperature of the surface it covers. So whether you're using it in summer, winter, the temperature is just meant to regulate. So you're not going to overheat unless you like compile them. um but I think for the one that I got, you could remove, like it's attached to each other, so you could actually remove for the summer the thicker top and use the thin one, and it's still got down in it. And yeah, that really helps because it does really keep you warm, and it's not the uncomfortable hot warm. I feel like it's just the perfect kind of regulated warm. Yeah. And then my third point is something that I've also just recently started to do, which is to strategize my heating, like my winter heating. So, what I mean by that is, I know a lot of us are trying to save winter fuel. The bills go so high up in winter. I know that. But what I found, and a few of my friends who've tried this, found that as soon as the temperature really drops, let's say around mid autumn, late autumn, that is when you sort of switch the temperature up and warm the house up for winter. So I know a lot of people like wait out the whole autumn, and like even if they try to even like wait out till the peak of winter to start their heating, but that is the biggest mistake you could do, I personally think. Again, this is not advice, this is just my opinion, because once you start heating your house up for winter early on, that is when you need to use less throughout. I mean, I think it's about the same, but the comfort level is different. So you sort of like get the house warmed and the temperature does stay consistent throughout the whole winter period. And that really personally helps me, because it is not fun coming home to a freezer, and you definitely feel it in your bones, you feel it, just in your mood and everything. I just think it's not worth it, and it might look really high and a spike up, especially the first month of winter when you start your heating, but trust me, I think it levels out. And um and yeah, also, how what am I gonna continue? Oh yeah, also, while it levels out, and the house is like consistently warm, I know a lot of people make this mistake of switching the um, heater off during the daytime when no one is home. I think that is also one of a mistake that a lot of people make, because when you switch it off in the morning when you're just awake, the house then becomes cold again. And then when you come back, you switch it on at, let's say, 6 p.m. There's so much energy to heat up the house, and the bill goes so high, and it only has like a few hours to. Where was I? My iPhone completely ran out of storage. but I was saying, um, so yes, it takes it has only like so much time to heat up before the house gets cold again. So it's this consistent loop of not actually heating the house up. It's just, switching it on, and then, yeah, you get what I mean. So I think using your heating wisely would make a difference. Also, a good quality thermal flask. I drink warm water during winter. It really helps me, especially when I go out, because it warms me from the inside. So having a good bottle that retains heat is key. And also, um, that goes to my other point of having a something like a thermal flask but for soup, and that really helped me because all I needed to bring was like rice or a carb, and I would batch make soup and heat it up in the morning before putting it in the thermal pot or small container that is meant for soup, and then I will have hot warm food for my lunch break. And the other point that I also found that really helped is my weekly sauna. I sign up to this membership for this gym that has a sauna. I don't use the gym, I barely go to the classes, but what I do use is the jacuzzi area, and it has a sauna, a steam room, and a jacuzzi, and it's consistently warm. I went there 3 times a week during winter, and it did make a difference in my mental health, my physical health. I felt better, and yeah, really did keep me warm for a long time. And I also slept better. So, yeah, that's always a win. And then I think my last point for this video is to wear good socks, and also to keep your feet warm, because if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, I'm not a scientist, but if you know the truth, please do correct me at the comments below. But we have big pores on our feet, and that makes sense because if your feet is cold, your body's automatically going to be really cold. So for me, keeping my feet warm was like really the basic thing that helped. It helped for like regulating my system. Also use socks to sleep, although it did take a few nights to get used to. And I now don't sleep without my socks. It helped me sleep really well. And yeah, everything just followed. But I think if you did follow these tips, your winter would be much more enjoyable and comfortable. So, yes, I wish you all the best for the winter that's coming. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.